Okay guys, this is going to be a very short video just to complete the explanation on these cases that look like they are other clauses, but they are not. See? I had stopped in this example that reads, once Marvin performed in front of 2,000 people. This is not an adverb clause because I only have one verb. See, I only have one verb, and this verb cannot be the verb for an adverb clause, because if that were the case, I would be creating a sentence fragment, you see, and if it is a sentence fragment, it doesn't make sense by itself, and this actually makes sense by itself. If I say, once Marvin performed in front of 2,000 people, you get it, right? Now, using it in a clause of time, I could say, once Marvin had finished his performance, he received a standing ovation. That is different. I have a verb for this time, for the adverb clause, and I have the verb for the independent section. Okay, so they look like, but they are not. The next case is a little, some people may differ with me on whether that's a clause or not, but I will keep the lesson I was taught and say that this is not an adverb clause of comparison. See, because of what I have explained before, we need to have certain elements in order to have an adverb clause. Excuse me, which is to have a connecting word, the subordinator, of course, the subject, and the verb. Monica, this beautiful woman, Monica Bellucci. Monica is more elegant than Eliza. Okay, so here we have the word that acts as the connecting word, right? And then we have the subject, but where is the verb? We do not have a verb. So Monica is more elegant than Eliza. If I wanted to make it a clause, then I would have, if I wanted to make this an adverb clause of comparison, I would have to say Monica is more elegant than Eliza is. Then I fix it. Then I have an adverb clause of comparison. And the last case might be a little confusing at the beginning, because we might think, yes, but we have a clause. Yes, and I would agree that we have a clause, but we do not have an adverb clause. Check this out. Because of the dog that she brought to her children, she became their favorite aunt and her sister's least favorite person. I think I should say least favorite person, not less favorite person. Shame on me. I think I made a mistake over there. But anyway, things happen. You see, nobody speaks perfectly. I don't speak perfectly in Spanish, and of course, also my English still needs work, right? But anyway, coming back to the point. Because of the dog that she brought to her children, she became their favorite aunt and her sister's least favorite person. Now, we have a clause. We do have a clause, but it's not an adverb clause of cause, because this is a phrase that never allows the introduction of a clause after it. After this phrase, because of, we are going to use a noun phrase. We are going to use a noun phrase. The noun phrase is the dog. See, all the time. We never use a clause after this phrase. So I cannot use a verb after dog. What has happened here is that I am using a relative clause, right? Because of the dog. Which dog? Which dog are we talking about? The dog that she brought to her children. Oh, because of the dog that she brought to her children. Now I am telling which dog we are talking about, right? So this is actually a relative clause, but we do not have an adverb clause, okay? And because of the dog that she brought to her children, she became their favorite aunt and her sister's least favorite person. And with this, I finish my explanatory videos on adverb clauses. Of course, I recommend that you check the lesson, and whenever you have the chance, when things have calmed down a bit, I recommend you get this handbook, right? This is English Grammar 2 handbook. The topics that are explained in our lessons are explained in a better way in the book, and it might be useful someday in your careers, right? And well, I guess that would be all for me for today, guys. I hope you're having a nice time. I hope you are keeping yourselves safe, okay? Best wishes, guys. Bye bye.